So we know that yesterday Andrew was arrested and the BBC is already working overtime to protect the institution. So within hours of his arrest, we had some hand-picked pundits on air delivering carefully crafted talking points. So we had Dimbleby, and he was telling viewers that we've got to distinguish between the monarchy as an institution and the family. And then we had India McTaggart remind everyone that the other brother wanted to be tougher on Andrew earlier. What is it with these people? Why are they always so obvious? And as for the other brother, it's all about self-preservation for him. The way he throws anyone and everyone, including his own wife, brother, under the bus is unbelievable. And this just reminds me that the messaging is always coordinated, because we can clearly see that this is damage control and the public are watching it happen in real time. So Dimbleby's talking point was that we've got to distinguish between the monarchy as an institution and the family. Really, because there was a time when there was no such distinction. So what do I mean? So when Harry was kicked out of Frogmore Cottage, a property that he was paying market rate for, a property that they spent millions renovating out of their own pocket, I don't remember a separation between the institution and family then. The institution evicted him and his wife and child, and the family absolutely supported it. They supported it. They were like, yeah. And they were briefing. I remember they were running to the press every 5 minutes to let them know they want nothing to do with Harry and Meghan since they've decided to go for option one or whatever of that agreement. And Harry's security was also stripped despite all the documented threats to his life. Remember the 3 neo-Nazis that said he was a race traitor? They're still in jail, by the way. So yeah, there was no separation then between the institution and the family, because the family were like, yeah, they're out, Andrew's in. That was what we got at the time. And again, the institution made that decision to strip the security, and the family endorsed it. And to me, family, institution, one and the same. And when Meghan was driven to unaliving ideation by institutional failures, there was no separation then either. The family was the institution, and the institution was the family. Again, same thing. But now that Andrew has been arrested for misconduct in public office, suddenly we must distinguish between the two. This is what gives them away. It's the hypocrisy. It's the one set of rules for one person and another set of rules for another person. And the sad thing is that Andrew is still being protected. Ooh, bit of fluff. Andrew is still being protected despite committing some of the most heinous crimes known to man. And what I'm seeing right now is that in Andrew's case, the institution is pure, but only one family member is tainted, and the monarchy itself remains unblemished. Hello, did you not put your hand inside your pocket and do a whip round to pay £12 million to one of his credibly one of the accusers that accused him credibly, right? And it's unbelievable, because I find that the separation only appears when it serves the institution, when it protects the crown from the crimes of its members. That is when you would have the separation. When it allows the palace to distance itself from accountability. So right now, there is still no accountability. We've had arrest, we've had that parade, we've had the show of, holding Andrew to account, but we've not had real and proper accountability, and we've not had anything to suggest that the victims are being compensated, offered support, or anything like that. And instead, what we've had is briefing upon briefing upon briefing from different mouthpieces. And even the book by that author, I'm not going to mention it because he's only looking for publicity. Even his book is a clear briefing because it's full of palace sources, experts say, and that is what you have. Because that book is being serialized by every favorable media source. And it just goes to show that they work hand in hand. And it's so sad. And even positioning the other brother as the good one. He saw the problem. He tried to solve it. He tried to act. Really? 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 Mark my words. The media have a lot of dirt on each and every member of the royal family. And there's going to come a time when some of that dirt is going to be leaked about the other brother and his wife. So I don't know why he's thinking he's untouchable. And he can brief all he wants, but the result tell a different story, because Andrew was protected for years by the institution and by his family and by the people who are now claiming that they tried to be tough earlier on. Now, these talking points used to work. So a scandal happens and an expert comes on BBC and would say their bit and try to convince people. And, from what I read today, there's been another royal reporter trying to remind us that we should take into consideration Prince Andrew's humanity. Again, she's been given her briefing points and she will definitely use them on TV. But this is what happens when you see spin happening in real time. And it exposes the agenda because they see us, the public, as gullible. And to be fair, it's always worked. Because many of us, we didn't know many years ago how this briefing lark, how it worked. If somebody told you they were a royal expert, you believed them because you thought they had sources, they knew things, only to discover nowadays that the so-called royal sources and the media sources are just a PR propaganda arm of the firm. So for me, when Dimbleby says that this scandal will make the royal family stronger, I'm like, stronger? A member of that family has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. 9 police forces are investigating the Epstein related allegations. And the UN has actually declared that the evidence collected, the evidence in those files may constitute crimes against humanity. So how can that make the royal family stronger? Again, propaganda. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments, please. My name's Elizabeth. I'm the author of The Luxpreneur. And for more insights like these, please like, share, comment, and follow me. And to support my work in holding truth to power, please get a copy of my book, The Luxpreneur, from Amazon, Waterstones, or Barnes & Noble, or you can actually buy me a coffee. Yes, you can buy me the biggest cup of coffee from buymeacoffee.com/Elizabeth Solaru.